What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Socially Awkward Podcast. My name is Adam. I'm back with my friend Ryan. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Better than you.
Shut the fuck up. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. The reason why he's asked that, I had a business incident I'm dealing with, and it got me a little flustered, but it's okay. I'm going to be okay. Nothing crazy. It's just something that agreement that was made, and it's going to get resolved one way or another.
Ryan's a little testy today, guys, but we're going to push through it, and I'm going to get him out of it.
Sounds good.
All right, so I saw this post. I follow. Let me know if that music's too loud for you. In my ear, it sounds low. I saw this post on YouTube today or yesterday about someone sent a fan sent an email into Bill Burr. Bill Burr has a podcast. I'm sure you know that. Maybe not, but they were asking him. The topic was like being a dictator, and I was thinking, like, what would if I was a dictator? If I had the power, like the CCP over there in China,
yeah,
like what would it be like? I mean, because there's just right now. I mean, we have way more freedoms than the Chinese people, but you know, there's some pros and cons to dictatorship. Now, obviously, I'm about freedom and free enterprise and capitalism. And I'm one of those people. I fully understand that capitalism can be corrupted and it gets corrupted all the time, but I still think it's a better option than living under the foot of the federal government. I want to hear your thoughts on, first of all, dictatorships like China, and what kind of dictator would you be? Like, I'm curious to know what kind of dictator someone that leans left would be.
So, dictatorship. My thoughts on dictatorship, first of all, is, I mean, it's crazy. It's like you don't know or really experience that or know what to really say about that, or you just think that is bad. It sounds very bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but is it all bad?
Exactly. It's like, I know that it can be bad if it's the power, if you're abusing your power, just like anything can be bad. Like if you're abusing your power, just like any kind of government. But I mean, a dictatorship is technically, I mean, it's one person who has the last say so. Is it okay? This and this. I mean, you think of it a couple of ways, but when you hear about dictatorship in the past, think of like Hitler,
Stalin, Mao.
Stalin, yeah, the guy that was in Cuba. I forget his name.
Castro.
Yeah, Castro. I mean, and like he goes from the extreme to like that, and people will say bad things about us, like by all means, like Hitler and Stalin, fucked up, super fucked up. That's Castro. Some people loved him. So I mean,
a lot of people died in Cuba too because of food lines and shit like that.
I am not condoning what he did by all means.
No, go ahead, take the floor, Ryan. Burn it down.
But a lot of people, in his country liked him, like the order, law and order. But at the same time, I don't think. I think dictatorship can work? Yes. Do I think it's always a good thing? No. Sometimes it's meant to be used as a good thing or a pro, but it turns out to be bad because you're making decisions on everybody's standpoint. So, I mean, I like democracy, and I like how the American system is. United States American system is. So
we're actually not a democracy. We're a democratic republic, which I mean, I'm sure you know the difference. But for anybody out there, and I could be getting this wrong a little bit, but what I think it means is a democracy is like whenever you vote, it's based off the sheer number of votes something gets. Like if it gets the majority, then it wins. But the reason we're a republic, which again, I'm just gonna act like I'm talking to some 5-year-olds. No offense, but if we weren't a republic, then every election cycle, New York and California would decide who's the president because they're just so densely populated, and
Yeah.
no one in the middle would ever get to say so. So so we have representatives from each state and blah blah blah. Everyone gets how that works. Um, what was I going to say? I was going to say something while you were talking. I forgot. Oh, I saw something from China the other day that, look, I'm no fan of dictatorships and all that, but China, they implemented this thing with their kids in the cell phones, which is they shut off at like 10 p.m. or something, and they only
Oh,
get like an hour a day, or and I could be getting the numbers wrong, but this is the gist of it, that they get like a very short amount of time a day on social media, and when they're on social media, all of their feeds are directly curated by the CCP, and they're things like math, science, how to better yourself, how to be a better person. They don't ever get to see things like fucking girls and titties and things that just are not helpful. As far as making yourself a better person, it's all like math and science and educational
really?
stuff. Yeah, and part of me is like, it's easy as an American to be like, you don't want the government controlling any aspect of your life, but dude, we're in a weird place right now with social media and the harm it's doing to everyone, but especially our young, impressionable boys and girls who are just so susceptible to just the veneer of how beautiful everyone is, how happy everyone is online. Little girls try to commit
The
suicide
the
like
image.
way more than they ever
Yeah.
used to because of social media. And so I don't know how to regulate that because it's a fine line between regulating what people can see and do. That's a slippery slope. But at the same
Yeah.
time, man, social media is really bad for our kids, and that's not the direction of this podcast. But I just thought I'd mention, like, that's one thing as a
It can be.
dictatorship that I've seen that's been positive, I think.
See, I would say yes and no. So yes, the whole thing about people like the image that social media puts out there and media puts out there, that the negative and depression that people pick up from that, because, or I should say, it's called body dysmorphia. The
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think it's something like that, but just their image of how they see themselves and how it's supposed to be. It's just, yeah, it's fucked up. Like, even, I mean, shit, I have like that. I mean, I am not the fittest person, and I mean, people will call me a teddy bear, but I'm not happy with my body. I mean, I got man boobs. I don't like them. I hate them. I want to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it. And do I be like love to be chiseled? And I want to be like just ripped and like muscles like just popping
That's
everywhere.
too
But I
much
want to be
work. I don't. That's too much
exactly.
work.
It's too much
Unless,
work.
you're going to play the part of Thor for a movie, just that's too
No,
much work.
I would like to have like a nice, healthy physique that, like,
Yeah,
I'm not a slob. I don't have to have a six pack. I don't have to have like chisel everything. But it's just I get that. And yeah, social media. I mean, media itself has contribute to that thought of, oh, this is what people like. This is that fantasy. But I get the self, how a dictatorship, if you use it that way, could be positive. Like, oh yes, we're going to show you how only positive things and good things to help you benefit yourself, to lift yourself up for your self-esteem and your self-confidence, and
hmm
to educate yourself. And this is what you will focus on. Now, the gut to have the government step in, like over in China, be like, oh, we're cutting off all your kids' phones at 10 o'clock. Like, god damn, you know.
But you see why that's beneficial, though, right? I mean, like, even though you wouldn't want them to do it physically,
Oh,
that would be better for them
no,
because
no.
kids don't need to be on cell
Say
phones
again.
after 10 o'clock. Oh, was I muted?
Good. Oh, you good. You're good. My sound was
Oh,
off, but you're good.
oh, I said I don't want them to have any government to have any control over what I do or what I let my kids do. At the same time, theoretically, I get it. Like, I mean, after, and by the way, I don't know if it's 10 o'clock, but I'm just saying, at late at night, kids staring at that blue screen, taking all that blue, whatever those screens are made out of now. I don't think they're LED anymore, but
Yeah.
all that blue light, keeping them up, keeping them depressed, and they're just scrolling no matter no God knows what they're on. It's not a good idea for them to be on their phone that late at night. They should be
Well,
reading a book and then going to bed.
See, that's when the parent comes into play, you know,
Yep.
and the parents
Education for parents would be huge.
exactly. So it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, that'd be a great dictatorship. Like, hey, if you'll be having sex, you have to get a license to have sex, blah blah blah, like that. Because if you can't, you can't procreate if you um don't know how to do this shit right. Because we ain't trying to have your fuck ups and be parent your kids for you. But no, I mean, and I get, you know, China's strict. I mean, certain countries and nations are strict. They have their own cultures and whatever. Like, do what you want. But dictatorship, I mean, I'm okay, and that's why I do want to travel the world and see how other countries live.
Would you go to
You know,
China?
oh, I want to go to China. I want to go to China and Japan.
Don't Chinese people, don't they like, they don't like black people very much, I heard.
Um, I don't think they're like. What I hear is that they don't like mix black people.
Well,
That's what I heard.
because the CCP, uh, there was this thing with like Marvel where they were literally not going to show. I forget which It might have been in game actually.
It was Star Wars, actually.
Oh yeah, it was Star Wars.
It was
It
Star
was
Wars. It
that.
was
Yeah.
Finn. They
Yeah,
took off the poster, and Marvel's like, "Hey, no, no,
yeah.
no."
They were threatening not showing the movie because because a black guy was too big on the poster. I
Yeah,
mean, call America racist. Holy shit.
right. Yeah, I remember that. Disney's like, we, we have no problem showing it not in China. They was like Disney stood the ground. That one's like, nah, fuck you guys. Like, you ain't gonna do that
Well,
one.
not completely. Fuck you. They kept him on
They
there,
they
but they
did
but they made him
alter it.
small, moving him to the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, they
Yeah.
did alter it, and it's like, nah, he'll be on there. But
It's
so that, all
weird
right,
how much control China has over our uh like big corporations and big interests. I mean, it's yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's not weird when you know why, but it's just kind of because China does not reciprocate. China doesn't give a fuck if we like something or not.
yeah.
They don't change anything for us. Matter of fact, they steal intellectual property from us all the time to get ahead. China doesn't give a fuck.
They don't. They don't. I mean, honestly, when you think
Which is
about it,
why oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. I mean, most countries are like that. They're like, okay, well, they'll play the part. Okay, yeah, this and this, but it's like they're still gonna do their own thing, and they're still going to do what's going to benefit them. Just like the U.S. will do the same thing with other countries. Yes, we'll play a part and have a partnership and like be a part of the UN. But hey, ultimately, it's all about what's best for the fucking for our country. That's how people look at it.
The problem with dictatorships is that absolute power corrupts absolute.
Yes.
I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's you. When you have the ultimate control, and there's a reason why we have three branches of government because you it's called checks and balances. And our
Mhm.
founding fathers got that part right because if you didn't have checks and balances, things go corrupt really quickly.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
if I was a dictator, I'm just trying to think. Okay, let's say tomorrow I stepped in. Okay, no more three branches of government. Somehow I was able to usurp all that power. I'm just trying to think of what, like, what's the first thing I would strike down? Like, what's the first thing I'm like, okay, this is this now. Like maybe because you got to come in. You got to come in and just start
Guns blazing.
guns a blazing. Because I mean,
Oh fuck.
imagine because the United States, there's so much. You're talking about when you talk about dictatorship, you're talking about the ability to control how corporations act, what the tax levels are.
Hmm.
I mean, holy shit!
So,
I mean, you're
d-
almost God on earth, and if you're the
dude,
dictator of the United States,
so as coming in as a dictator for the United States, if they say, okay, we're gonna put you as dictator, Ryan, we're gonna put you as a dictator, or Adam, we're gonna put you as a dictator for the United States because the presidency isn't that shit ain't working. It's just it's fucked up. So here you go.
too much
Do
freedom,
I
bitches.
do I still have aides that I can talk to and counsel that I can talk to?
You're the dictator. You can have whoever the fuck you want to help.
Yeah, I'm still putting I'm putting aides and councils in place still because that's a lot of fucking pressure. Like, okay, take this because you don't know how shit trickles down and what like you pull one little it's like pixie sticks. You pull the one fucking thing out and everything's done. And you got either have like you know what's oh I got so many things like Age of Empire. That's a great game I used to play too on PC. Like you literally was, or Civilization. You at one point was a dictator. You controlled everything. You built everything, and if you made the wrong decision, fucking you have a fucking revolution. Motherfuckers like burning shit down. Like what the fuck is going on? Because you took away their tea.
You know what? It's funny when you're saying that. I'm still trying to rack my brain. Like, what would I changes what I make? And as I'm thinking about that, it's like a slap in the face. It's like a harsh dose of reality that, holy shit, I don't know. Like everything is so complicated. Like, what do you like? Where do you start? Like, what do you change? Like, you have all this power, and it's like, okay, well, in order to hold on to that power, you still have to have an economy that works in some fashion. You still have to have a defense that works. You still have to have supply chains that work. You can't just come in and start saying,
You know
okay,
what? I know one first thing I'll change, and
okay,
it might trickle into something bad, but first thing, I mean, people say, "Oh, well, that's against the Constitution." I'm a fucking dictator. There's no Constitution, so
yeah,
there's
rip.
there is no hate speech. You cannot have hate speech. And I'm not talking about towards a government hate speech. I'm talking about towards another fucking person, towards your fellow peer. Like hey, you can talk all the shit you want about me. You
See,
can't stand you, Ryan. That's fine. You're a dictator, but you don't have to. But you will fucking respect me.
the problem with hate speech is that's the thing. They won't respect you. You'll think they respect you because you're forcing them to act like they respect you. That's different from actual respect.
Ultimate power.
The thing about hate speech, though, is depending on who's in power, the definition and what's considered hate speech changes. Now,
True.
What's hate speech?
This is true. See, and that is all about perspective. So racism. See, and that's the thing. Like, something that may affect one person, you may think, oh, that's not hate.
So right now, as dictator, you already admitted you're getting rid of comedy.
I'm getting rid of what? Comedy?
No.
Out. No. We already had this discussion about that. I know, but it's all about context. So it was like, oh, you laugh? Well, that's racist. And like, but that's not hate. But that's not hate speech. Like it's talking about race. It's not racist, but it's as long as you ain't calling somebody like the N word or calling them out their nationality because you don't like them. Because of their nationality, that's hate speech, or even their sexual preferences because of that. That's hate speech.
You would be the scariest kind of dictator. I'm millions of people dead.
I would be the scariest. You know why? Because I studied this shit.
Dude, you've already said the First Amendment's gone. Boom, out.
yeah. I don't see why.
Jesus, Ryan.
You got to do it methodly, like this. I watched a lot of Star Wars. Okay. And you know who the fucking biggest dictator was? Emperor Palpatine. And he started off in the Senate. And I know you never fucking watched the shit, but he played.
That's that old white dude, right?
Yeah, little shrivel up prune dude. Yeah.
I know a little bit.
Okay, all right. I respect. But he played chess like on a 3D level. He was 5 moves ahead of everybody. So, but he did everything, and he made it seem like, oh yes, I'm your friend. I'm here for you. What do you want to do? Okay, this is your idea. You wanted this, so we're gonna keep on moving forward with this because you wanted this. And next thing you know, they're fucking themselves in the ass with a 5-inch dildo.
Is that in Star Wars?
No, that's not Star Wars.
Jesus, maybe I'll start watching.
But no, yeah, it's that's the thing about dictatorship is that Hitler did the same thing, and he told a lie so much that people started to believe something and believe it, and it's like, okay, well, man, shit, maybe he got a point. He got all right. So, and all you do is turn one person against another, and then like, okay, cool. Then we'll just go ahead and everybody's on my same side. We'll just do a quick wipe, and then boom, purge.
So which race are you going to get rid of?
I'm not getting rid of no race. I love all races.
Yeah, right.
I love all races. You know the race, the what race is that one?
The human race.
purge the whole fucking. We about to do like a extinction of dinosaurs and shit, but for humans, poof. But I think racist. This is so fucking funny about it. Is a racist is like so stupid to like, oh well, I don't like you because of race. I'm like, dude, because I'm brown, you don't like me? Seriously? Go step your eyes outside. You gonna turn brown too long enough.
Yeah, that goes the other way too. A lot of people hate white people because we're white before they even know us.
I love all people.
Hey, I'm not. This isn't that kind of podcast, but I'm the same way. And and I know it's like corny, but like I don't see color. But it's not that I don't see color. It's just that I don't give a fuck.
Thank you. Yeah, because we all see color. I mean, and when they.
I see. It's like you're black. He's like, we're not going to pretend like our melanin, like our ancestry doesn't go branch off. That's the
first thing they say.
Different ways. I mean,
when you have to do a police report, well, what the suspect was like? He's 6 foot tall. He was a hefty size male. Okay, great. He had curly hair. Okay. He had a scar. Well, that's all you got for me. He had a black hoodie on too. Okay.
We need the race, buddy. We need the race.
I don't see race, but exactly. So go find some guys like that. So that's the first thing they can fucking go to. But no, yeah, I mean, it's sad, but.
Well, when you're talking about crime, it helps to have the race. I mean, it helps break it down. It just does.
It narrows it down. Yeah. I mean, but hey, I mean, you can say, well, he was a dark skinned man. Oh, was he black? No, he was a dark skinned man. Had a real nice tan, a real dark tan. Like
now you're just lying. If he's black, hey. You don't have a tan. You're just...
Actually, do tan.
You know what I mean, motherfucker. You're dark already. You don't need the tan.
I know. I ain't trying to derail it, but like for you, I know you said you'll have a hard time doing it, but
I thought of something along the way.
Okay.
I would make social media platforms make them hire a more diverse, like board, more diverse employees. I would make them go 50-50, Republican and liberal. I don't care. I don't care. I want 50-50 sitting employed there. I want 50-50 on the board. Do it right now.
Well, time out right there. That's flawed because you said Republican and liberal. So
I'm sorry, Republican and Democrat.
Democrat. Even Republican and Democrat. You're a dictator. Okay. There is none of that no more.
Well, see, but those kind of people are going to exist either way. So, but here's my thing. My goal as a dictator is not to break down society and become some like king. My goal as dictator is to have the power. If I actually want to fix things, then I think social media needs to be an evenly split, evenly curated. And I know curate, people don't like that word because we shouldn't be curating what we see on social media, but they do. I mean, YouTube, everybody, they put what they want people to see out there. It's not the most popular thing that's on the For You page. It's what they want you to see. Yeah. I think that needs to be, and I think, and that's another thing. Okay, here we go. I think social media, I'd go straight after them. You are hereby forbidden to curate anything on social media. Okay. And I'm okay with the terms of service. Like you can't be racist, like anything that's against the law. I'm okay with them keeping those terms of service in place. But as far as curating things, let the things that are naturally popular by the populace, let those things become popular no matter if you agree with them or not, because that's what the people think. That's what the people want. The fact that they get to curate things no matter how popular or unpopular it is not okay. They're lying to everyone. And they, a few small people that work at like Twitter, let's say, get to like mold how things are perceived. And I'm not okay with that.
Well, I agree with you, but it's kind of like when I'm being a moderator at your podcast, and like it all depends on how much of a hair you have up your ass that night too. Because sometimes you'll jump in like, oh, I don't like what that guy said.
Get him out.
I'm like, okay, well, Memphis said called you an asshole last week, but you cool with this guy saying he just wanted to tap that ass. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, boss. But you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes they're being actual assholes and they need to go.
No, for sure. They really are. And usually I'm like, I got this. And, I can tell the vibe and go with that. But that's what I'm saying. It's like a dictator has so much power that people are afraid to be themselves. But even with that, it's like, okay, you still have all that responsibility. And like ultimately, like I get you say you don't want to the whole curator of social media, but you kind of have to need that, because then it goes to like just being super hateful. People commit
I don't
suicide.
necessarily agree with that, Ryan. I mean, finish your thought, but I'm sure I stepped in too soon there.
Okay, hear about this. C porn. I'm not saying the first word, but it has to do with
Does it rhyme with mild?
Mild.
Child?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I've actually reported that on Twitter. Like I was like mass report. Somebody put that shit up there. That shit made me sick. Oh, somebody slipped that through one time. I was like, what the fuck is this?
It wasn't one of those people that looks very young. It was like a clear child.
I didn't want to take the fucking chance of like analyzing that shit and scar my fucking self. So I was like, dude, and they removed it hella fast. Thank you for removing this. We looked at this. This was against the terms and conditions. Thank you. I was like, and I was like, I was sick after. I was nauseous and shit. Like that's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the thing.
But that's not curating though. That's enforcing terms of service that we can all agree upon.
What curating? Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is, let's say, and it could go both ways. But I'm just because I'm more conservative, I'm just going to say my piece. That if there's a very popular conservative point of view that gets like Twitter will actively suppress the news on it, so more people don't see it because they don't agree with it. Even though it's the most popular opinion, even though let's say 60-70% of people, the majority agree with it, they will suppress it because it hurts maybe their candidate, maybe it's an election year. My point is, I just want actual fairness on social media. I want and look, and if the most popular opinion is some lefty type thing, fine. Because maybe I need to be introspective. Maybe I'm thinking about something wrong. But my point is, I don't think a small group of people in a corporation, you're talking about fucking 0% of the population compared to how many people are out there, get to dictate what we all see and think. I just don't. I just think they need, and in tech, and this is no secret, in big tech, it's like 99.9% liberal people, because they all go to these universities and they move to the big cities and work in Silicon Valley. Like there's no conservatives that very, very, very few people the conservative that work at these places. And I think they're in an echo chamber, and I think they could stand to have some different opinions at work.
Okay. So with that, I will say this. Conservative thoughts and opinions that go on social media versus liberal thoughts and opinions that goes on social media. When because I still see this stuff out there. Only thing what I see is like, okay, this is not facts. Like, and I agree with it. Like people, not having facts and just like coming up with ideas. I don't care if it's left or rights or left wing or right wings. If you're not coming up with the factual shit and that's not real, and if it can't be actual, you don't have receipts and citations for that shit, don't put it out there. I don't care who. I don't care if you say the sky's purple. No, the sky's fucking blue. Well, at this point in time and day, it's purple. Okay, thank you for showing me that fucking picture. It was purple that one time. But it's like saying that, okay, now the sky's green. No, it's fucking not. It's like that. So I don't have a problem with whether it's a leftist or a conservative that puts shit out there, as long as it's not spewing lies and hate. That's the only issue is. And control wise, when it comes to social media, do I see that sometimes it leans? I wouldn't say it leans, but maybe they show you that it leans more towards the left.
If you don't think the liberals have taken complete control of social media, then your head has been in the sand for the last 10 years.
What makes you say that,
Ryan? Like, you know what? Hey, let's talk about. Hey, let's talk about that next time.
Yeah. But
because that's not what this is about, and I don't want to like derail too far off that.
Yeah.
But I would love to talk about that Wednesday.
Okay. So back to the whole dictatorship.
Yeah. Split them up.
Dictatorship.
Yeah.
So you would just basically say, okay, split them up left and right, or just say, hey, you want people of equal ideology,
diversity of thought. There's no diversity of thought in these corporate social media companies.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
And 10% taxes across the board. I don't care how rich or poor you are. 10%. You don't get a dime more. Shrink the government down. Of course, then they can overthrow me. So hold on. Let's 15%. 15%. We need.
See how that keeps on creeping up?
I know.
Okay. All right.
No abortions. No, just kidding. I know. I was gonna open that can of worms right now. Boop.
Okay. I mean, hey, I like the idea of 15% taxes or 10% taxes across the board, no matter if you're rich or poor. But yeah, I mean, it just comes down to, like, for me, I'm not gonna hate on that. I mean, I don't take advantage of that shit. Yeah, like, no problem. Hey, let's go. Are the same tax laws in place? Deductions, all that shit like that?
No, you get 10%. You pay 10%. You pay 10%. The tax code, it will be like on one Post-it note. Okay.
Okay. So 10% of whatever you make.
Yeah, you made this much. Okay, you get 10%. Okay. Or you pay. No, you get 10%. That's the Bernie plan. No, you pay 10%, and the U.S. government has to make do with 10%. I guarantee you, 10% will give them enough money to take care of our military and for a few social programs. Right now, our government is bloated. Dude, I wonder how much money we could lower our taxes if we were able to actually open the doors and see what they actually spend money on, how wasteful it is. It would probably make us fucking sick. And we would probably, if we knew the extent of what the U.S. government is and what they do with our money, we would fucking, as a country, would probably have a fucking seizure.
I think that's available. Just no one actually doesn't do that. It's the ledger that you can actually, I think, request. Takes a long ass time to do it though.
Probably like 10,000 pages and unreadable.
Shit is it literally,
but it's there, yeah,
it's there. But no one just takes time to go read through all this shit, and because it's gonna take a lot of fucking time. But okay, all right. You know what? No, this is something I will put in place if I was fucking a dictatorship. No person goes hungry. Everyone's gonna eat. Everyone's gonna have three meals and a cot for sure.
And a cock?
A cot. If you want
every person gets 3 meals and a cock.
If you want that, great. But I mean, hey, but 3 meals and a cot, a bed, somewhere to sleep. And this is what I mean. It's like, you're not just gonna be a moocher. You're gonna have to basically be a productive citizen of society. You're not gonna be a fucking just somebody who's like this. It's not technically what is it, food stamps. You will get fed. You'll have a voucher each day. You'll do some work. Here's your voucher. Even if you're homeless, if you have a job, you get paid. Go ahead and you can do your own shit. That's fine.
So like a UBI program, universal basic income.
Not income,
but for food, but like
for food.
but not income like Just you can spend on whatever you want, just like an income, like a base income solely given to you for that you can only spend on food.
Correct. Yes. Yes. No alcohol. No. You want the luxuries and shit like that? You have to go fucking make your own money for that one. But you want something for food? Yes. Go do this job here, and then you can get this voucher and go get a meal.
I wonder how much it would take. You know what? I bet I don't even bet. Yeah, I bet like $100,000 of my own money. I don't have $100,000, but I'm saying if I had it, I bet $100,000 of my own money that we could afford right now. If we calculated how much it costs to feed a family, that the government could easily afford to do that. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that costs nothing because that comes for everyone's taxes, blah blah blah. I get that, but I mean, whenever COVID hit, we immediately started giving. I didn't get any money, but we immediately started giving away money to everybody, and we did it. I mean, it wasn't for a super long time or anything, but the amount of money it takes to eat is not near as much as it takes to like. You're not providing everything. You're not providing housing and
Correct.
gas and bills and internet and phone, blah blah blah. Just food. I wonder if we could afford just food. Like, because you said you would implement a dictatorship just for food, make sure everyone got food vouchers.
Mhm.
But could we afford that forever? You know what I mean?
You could.
I wonder.
And here's the thing. This is how I know we can do it. You use those tasks that you're doing are basically going to be farming tasks or some type of task that to earn that voucher. It's going to be you do an hour of work, whatever, or 8 hours of work, however you want to do. I wouldn't say 8 hours of work, but you'll do this for each meal. So you break it down into percentages, and then like, okay, you have to go plant these seeds or farm this till with equipment, of course, whatever, or go ahead and slaughter this cow or help run that machinery over there, whatever you gotta do to
Taking us back to the 1800s, dude.
no, but I'm not, because it's being done now, but it's a job.
Mhm.
So here's a great example. I had some tickets one time before I and I was like couldn't afford them like that. I let them stacked up, and they was like, look, you can do two things. You can do community service, or you can pay the citations, or do jail. I was like, just give me community service, and I worked every Saturday. It was like for like 2 months.
Mhm.
I had to go work at the junkyard, and I worked my shit off, but I still was able to live my life. And it didn't take
Mhm.
like, here, you had to work off my fines. Like, cool. I didn't go to jail for fucking tickets, but I was able to. I couldn't afford to pay them off, but I was able to work them off. It's that it's very same thing for food. If you don't have if you want to go get a job, you can. It's not going to affect your life. But hey, you can't afford to eat. I mean, you're homeless like that, and you I can't afford to eat. Let me go do this task over here, because you ain't working 24/7. You ain't doing something 24/7. So you can go. Let me go do enough things, tasks to make some vouchers to make some food.
Yeah.
So it's very doable.
You know what? As you were saying that, I even thought of something that could go along with it. Like, I think it's something we can implement now. What if you had? We all know what community service is. What
Mhm.
if we had like every city come up with their own like community service list? Because you were talking about tilling and stuff like that, and that's obviously that could be part of it. But like when you get in trouble or something, you got to maybe do community service. So those types of things like cleaning the streets, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
working the soup kitchens. What if there was always available these community lists of community service that you could sign up for, and the money you got from it was in the form of food vouchers.
Yeah.
So let's say coming around the holidays, you're really struggling, you're trying to get Christmas, you could literally, let's say you don't even have to be homeless. Let's say you're like, look, I can we can pay for our food if I go spend a couple hours a day or a couple hours a week or whatever, and go help out in the soup kitchen and do something you could do something to help the community, and in return you get food vouchers for it.
Yes. Yes, and you can't. And here's the stipulation: you cannot sell a food voucher because you'll all have your ID on it. So when you have to have your ID to redeem the food voucher. Because I already fucking think people saying, "Oh well, food stamps. You can sell food stamps, or you can sell your card." Like, no,
We did that when we did that when I was a kid. My mom would.
We all did that shit.
Yeah. My parents would literally we'd get like, we had 6 kids, we get like a fucking $1,000 a month or something in food stamps, and then they would give away like $300 in food stamps for like $100 or some shit, like actual money.
Yeah. So I we know the loopholes, guys. I mean, we from the hood. We weren't born with silver spoons.
Sorry, Tulsa.
So, and I think that's a great rule to implement. To most people think, okay, how can we fix the world? Start with fucking making sure no one's belly's empty, because then that health, proper health. And I ain't talking about fucking fast food all the time, because that's not healthy for you all the time. It's not good for you.
Well, I got one more thing before we get out of here.
Okay.
Is back to social media. I think I would make him get rid of filters and anything that can give the outside world a fake image of anybody. I think I would make them outlaw filters. So all your Khloe Kardashians, all these people that look fucking perfect, I would make them get rid of everything. So these young girls and young boys, but mostly young girls, wouldn't look at these people and think, oh my God, they're so beautiful. And then every day when they look in the mirror, they be like, I'm nothing like that, even though they're perfectly attractive.
So you tired of getting the catfish at them?
They don't leave the house enough to be catfished.
No, I agree with you though. Because is
that a fair one? Get rid of filters. I mean,
yeah.
Why do we need filters? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like them. I mean, it's. Yeah, I don't like them at all. I hate filters. I mean, it's fun, like the corny ones, like the dog one. That's the one.
I go the rest of my life without seeing you do that.
But no, yeah, filters. They annoy the shit out of me too.
Okay, well, okay. Let me simplify it. Beauty filters, things that make you look like you're not. Like, obviously, if you're trying to be a fucking dinosaur, that's cute. But I'm talking about the beauty filters. Get them out.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Be yourself.
Well, guys, unfortunately, we got to cut it. This won't be a full hour like we normally do, because I got to get out of here. But we'll be back Wednesday. And what were we going to talk about? I forget. So we don't forget.
Oh man, it was a good one too. Damn it. You guys might just have to stay tuned and see, because,
or maybe we'll watch it back and we'll figure it out before Wednesday. But Ryan, I actually think this is a fun conversation. This is one of those you could talk about things. We talked about like 2 things each, 3 things.
Yeah.
This is a conversation you could have a drink and talk about for hours.
Right? This one is, yeah. And I figured out it's about the woke culture and cancel culture. That's the next one.
Okay, yeah, that is one we're going to get to. But we were talking about something in this podcast that we were going to talk about. Remember,
the
we
dictatorship?
Were like, yeah, well, because there was something we were talking about, and we said we'll talk about that Wednesday. I said we didn't want to get off on that right then, because you asked me something, and I was going to answer it, and then I said, but we can.
Why social media? Yeah, why social media pushes the
why I think that I think it's biased. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll get to there eventually. We got a bunch of good ideas for podcasts.
Oh yeah, guys. We do.
But all right, guys. As you can see at the bottom of the screen there, please like and subscribe. We go live. Well, we don't go live yet. That's something we're considering for the future. But right now, we put out a video every Monday and Wednesday, guys. So like and subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. See you later. Name's Ryan. See you later, Ryan. My bad.
God damn.
My fault. All right. See you guys. Bye.
All right, man.